I used to work late nights at a small gas station on the side of a quiet highway. It wasn't an exciting job, but it was peaceful most of the time. It started on a rainy night. The drizzle tapped against the windows, distorting the headlights of the few passing cars. I was alone, nodding off behind the counter, when a man walked in. He wore a long, dark coat, drenched from the rain, and a hat that cast a shadow over his face. He didn't say much, just a slight nod as a greeting. He made his way to the back of the store where the snacks and drinks were kept. Nothing unusual. But then, he did something that made my skin crawl. He stopped in front of the refrigerators, hesitating. Then, he turned his head towards me and stared. Too long. His eyes were hollow, like he was looking right through me. A cold shiver ran down my spine. I forced an awkward smile, but he didn't react. Finally, he grabbed a bottle of water, walked up to the counter, paid silently, and left. I tried to brush it off, but the next night, he came back. This time, he wasn't alone. Just behind him, barely noticeable, was a shadowy figure. It wasn't solid, more like a flicker, a distortion in the air. Maybe it was a trick of the dim neon lights, but I knew something was wrong. The man walked up to the counter and placed a thick stack of cash on the wood. Way too much for a bottle of water. Before I could say a word, he whispered, "Is this enough for what I want?" I looked at the money, confused. My pulse quickened. "For what?" I asked, my voice barely above a whisper. He slowly raised his hand and pointed behind me. A chill brushed against my neck. My stomach dropped. Hesitant, terrified, I turned around. Nothing, just the neatly arranged shelves. But when I looked back, he was gone. The cash was gone. The door to the station swayed slightly, as if someone had just left or entered. From that night on, I never worked alone again, because sometimes what walks in never really leaves.